Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me today for Flipgrid. My name is Monica SEPA-LAFEMINA. Before we get started, I'm going to put in the chat the link for your attendance for today. So please click on the link, to sign in for today's session. It's going to be on a Google Doc, okay? So don't forget to log your PB hours for today. So I'm going to give everyone just a few minutes to click the link, sign in, get yourself ready, and then we're going to get started within a couple of minutes. Okay. All right, I see a bunch of you have started on the Flipgrid attendance sheet, so thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen now. And hopefully everyone will be able to see it. Fingers crossed. All right, perfect. So welcome to our second Tech Tuesday. Really appreciate everybody coming to this session. And we're gonna have fun today. I love Flipgrid. So those of you who maybe don't know about Flipgrid or have tried it a little bit or haven't really dabbled into it a lot yet, I'm gonna show you all the ins and outs. I'm gonna give you a ton of resources. And I hope you're as excited as I am because I really love Flipgrid. So, this is the slide deck that is on the Tech Tuesday site. If you haven't gone to the Tech Tuesday site yet, this is what it looks like. Just take a look at the August 11th sessions, and my slide deck will be under my session time today at 9 o'clock. So just a quick little blurb about me. I've been teaching for 10 years in the Woodbridge Township School District. I teach at School 29. This slide has all of my contact information, so connect with me. If you're on Twitter, please follow me on Twitter. You could send me an email if you need to, if you have any questions after this session. And I also have a school Instagram. So please, if you're on Instagram as well, follow me there as well. But let's talk all about the Flipgrid fever. Flipgrid, I love it. It's all about discussion, empowerment, and we're going to talk a lot about remote learning today as well. Those of you who don't use Flipgrid yet, or if you haven't tried it, it's all about empowering every voice, about student voices and how we can share their voice and respect the diversity of others. That's really what their mission is. So for Flipgrid, we're going to be discussing, reflecting, demonstrating, sharing, and learning. It's a free website, so if you haven't tried it yet, please do so because it's 100% free, which is one of the things that we love as a teacher. If it's free, it's for me. So, use Flipgrid. We use it to engage and empower our students. You can use Flipgrid anywhere, in the classroom, from home, remote learning, short, awesome videos together. So the first thing I want to say before we jump into the actual platform is to join my Google Classroom. So the class code is right here. I'm actually going to drop it in the chat so that this way you can join maybe throughout the presentation if you'd like to. Let's see if I can get to the chat from here. I might not be able to. Let's see. Here we go. Perfect. So all right, so if you'd like to join the Google Classroom at this point, you can, and I'll just give you a quick rundown of what's inside of it. I have the slide deck in here, the Tech Tuesday website, a bunch of resources here dealing exactly with remote learning. They have really stepped up their game with giving resources to teachers on how to use Flipgrid with remote learning. You have the Complete Educator's Guide to Flipgrid. They are really wonderful with integration documents. So I have grabbed all of the PDFs for integration with different grade levels and listed them here for you in the Google Classroom. And then on YouTube, they have their own Flipgrid YouTube channel. So if you want to go on YouTube and subscribe to them, they do amazing tutorials on how to use shorts, how to use different components of Flipgrid, and all of their new updates. So all of this is here in the Flipgrid Google Classroom for you. So definitely take the time to join so you have all of those resources. And I'll be trying to update those as more updates come out on Flipgrid as well. So definitely a really good thing to talk about. Flipgrid just went through a huge update on August 5th. So we're going to explore all those new features today as well. Getting started with Flipgrid is so simple. It's really ridiculous how easy it is. You just sign in, and you could sign in with your Google account. And as we all know, we all have Google accounts for Woodbridge Township School District. So you can just log in with your Google account. It's free. You set up your educator account, and then you create something that's called a grid. A grid is basically your class or your group. And within that grid, you're going to create topics that are going to then create the discussion with your students. Just throughout the slide deck, we have all of the getting started tools, giving you those grid information, the topic information, and then sharing your voice and your videos. Here I have getting started links for students and for educators. So you just click on these videos, and it'll give you 1 to 2 minute tutorials on how to use it. So creating a grid or a group is for your students. You can work with your personal learning community. If you want to use it with your staff or your whole school, you can really start a grid for anyone. All of the topics are different. You can create your own topics. There's a whole discussion library, which we'll get into a little bit later, which have pre-made topics for you. Discussion prompts or themes that you can really use with your students to get that discussion and the talking going. And then the students share. So the students are going to respond to topics by capturing or uploading short videos, and they share within your community. So what I really love is that my favorite part of using this with my students is that they can respond to one another, which really gets the discussion going. And something that will be, probably lacking when we go back into school is using that small group or having that discussion when the students are close to one another. So this way they'll be able to be close to one another and have that discussion throughout the Flipgrid platform. Okay, so this is what the educator view looks like. We're going to go through the platform in just a few minutes. This is what the student view would look like, where you can see the topic and then what the topic is asking for you. Grids and groups, this is what the grids and groups look like. Ooh, I'm sorry, my mouse is a little bit sensitive today. The grids and groups, so your grid will be here with your grid name, and then the topics that you create are listed on the bottom. So all of your topics will be posted to the grid. Your students log in, they see the grid and the topics. What I also love is throughout the year, I work with a co-teacher. So you can add a co-pilot is what they call it, or a co-teacher. And the teacher that you work with as well can also add topics and begin discussions with your shared students. So I think that's a huge game changer on the Flipgrid platform. Disco Library is something I want to talk to you about because this is where all of the pre-made topics are housed, and we'll talk about exactly what's going on with those Disco Library topics. It looks a little bit different than this picture because of the recent update. So it's a little bit more user-friendly with the categories that they have created for you. You can create topics. The Disco Library has like 23,000 pre-made topics for you. So why reinvent the wheel if you're just starting out? You can use exactly the topics that are listed there for you. And then you can customize your topics with different setting options. My most favorite thing about Flipgrid is the camera. The camera is the best thing, and it really lets the children and yourself, when you create videos, be creative and use so many different features. The features are amazing. You can add text, you can add emojis, there's inking for you to draw, filters, stickers, Post-its. You can use different board features. when I made this slide deck before the update, they only had whiteboard and blackboard features, and that has now changed. They're really catering to even more math features while you're using Flipgrid, which is amazing. You can use a graph paper, there's lined paper, there's all different things, and we're going to go through that as well. Stop motion video, uploading images, screen recording, which is really wonderful because I don't know how many of you use Screencastify. I used it diligently when we were remote learning, but now you can use that feature within Flipgrid itself, so you really don't need that extra add-on if you don't want to use it. You can use everything within the platform. You could also trim and rearrange clips, which is great. How to submit a video. There's my lovely picture there. This is what your video response would look like when it's completed. So usually they ask you to take a little picture. You can add any pictures or stickers within that. And then this gives you step-by-step instructions on how to submit a video to the grid. Mixtapes is really wonderful for you to showcase your student videos. So mixtapes, you can actually compile all video responses together in one and then put it to a platform. So something that I did at the end of the year last year was we did kind of Flipgrid farewells. So the kids said goodbye to one another on Flipgrid, and then I compiled a mixtape and put it on our Google Classroom so that everyone could see all of the goodbyes together in one place instead of having to individually click on the Flipgrid platform, which is, you know, it's really up to your preference, but it's just an extra feature that is really wonderful to use. So recent updates, the creative fonts is something new. Tracking engagement in student lists, we're going to talk about that in a minute. Topic default settings, so different ways that you can change your settings. Video moderation, the check mark for feedback, math and graduation stickers. The math stickers, excuse me, are a huge game changer, especially if you're assigning a math assignment throughout remote learning. If you're doing that, you can have the students actually explain everything and use the math stickers and the math backboards, so that this way they can explain as much as they possibly can to you instead of just using a traditional whiteboard. And then again, their newest update was just August 5th. So enough of me talking. We're going to talk a little bit more about remote learning ideas at the end. Let's get on the platform and let's check it out. So when you're on the actual platform itself, I'm going to move the Zoom videos. When you're on the platform itself, this is exactly how you get here. It's info.flipgrid.com. And you can see right on the original page before I even sign in how much information is here for you. You've got the Getting Started Guide, webinars, the Help Center. They've actually now have over 25,000 topics in the Disco library. Sign up, it's free. They're paired with Microsoft. And right here at the top, they have a remote learning guide. So you can actually click on that, which I have linked in the Google Classroom for you, and you can go ahead and see all of the remote learning options they have. So once you sign in, you just sign in with the educator login. I'm going to log in with Google. It's going to ask me to choose my account. And then once I'm logging in, this is what the platform looks like. So maybe if you have used Flipgrid while we were in remote learning, it's probably going to look a little bit different now because they have changed a couple of things. So grids are no longer called grids. They changed it to groups now. So groups allow you to organize and share multiple topics. So these are the groups that I have right now. Once you create a group, you can create groups for each class that you may teach if you are in a secondary level, or maybe just one class for your elementary level. I usually just create one per year and then I change it over. You can duplicate your groups. So for next year, I'll probably just duplicate this group since I am working with the same co-teacher, so that this way she has the same access to the groups as well. So your groups are listed here. All of these tabs at the top have something different, and we're going to go through each of them right now. If you go ahead and take a look at topics, these are all of the topics that I have created throughout the time, and all of your topics are listed in one place, which I really love because then you have these buttons over to the right. When you're looking at topics, You have a choice to either keep them active, frozen, or hidden. Right now, you're going to keep them active if you want them to keep responding. If I want to freeze them, you can freeze a topic, and then that makes the students not able to respond to that topic. And if you want to hide it, the students will not be able to see it. So usually I'll try to like work ahead a week, create my topics, I'd hide them, and then, you know, post them the day of or the night before when we're ready to start our discussion. Sharing, if you click share, you can copy the link. You can share right to the Google Classroom or any other platforms that you might be using. You can also share to Remind, which I really love, which is a different feature, especially if you're using Remind. You can add a topic from here, or you can add a topic within your grid. When you create a topic, there are many different features here for you to use. So you title your topic. Here's your prompt where you're going to add your question or your discussion prompt. You can change your recording time, which was a big update in the spring. There was only about a max of 3 to 5 minutes on a video, but then they actually extended it to 10 minutes. So if you need your students to use a 10-minute video, I know I didn't really use that recording time with my students, but I used it for myself. So what I did do was I used the 10-minute recording time a lot for myself when I made shorts, and that's something that I'm going to show you in just a few minutes. Video moderation, new videos can be hidden from students until you activate them. So if you want to toggle that on, maybe if you're working with younger students, or you know, maybe it's something you want to toggle on when you first start using Flipgrid, so that you can moderate the videos that are being posted on your grid for your page. Media, you can add any media resource to engage your students. You can add emojis, upload images. I use the YouTube video feature a lot. So I would pick either like a short video from YouTube, or maybe like a read aloud on YouTube, posted it with the discussion prompt so that the students needed to watch the video first, read the prompt, and then respond. You can record your own video, upload a video, Kahoot, you know, Google, any Google Docs or anything you have from your drive, you can upload through here. Wonderopolis, Nearpod, Newsela, the possibilities are really just endless at this point. Access control, so, excuse me. The student email, so when they're going to be logging in with their Google, that's what you're going to be choosing, because it'll say Google School email. When they are going to join with you, all you need to do is give them your code to join. So when you're back on your regular page of your groups and you open up your group page, it says join code right here. So if you give them this join code, they can either download the Chrome extension for Flipgrid and enter the code, and they will automatically be able to join your Flipgrid. Or when you are on the info.flipgrid.com, they just click join and they enter the code, so that this way they can join your class. It's very easy. It's just like Google Classroom. Discovery. So when you're on the discovery page, this is really the disco library. So this is where all of your topics are. You can have, you could search for any topics that you need up at the top. You can view all of the topics. At the top, they'll tell you what your engagement is of your classrooms. So your total amount of hours or time. They'll give you how many topics have been created by the community. And then they give you your collections at the top. So anything that I have favorited, you will see in your favorites list. So you can go ahead and take a look at some of the things that maybe I have favorited throughout the time that I've been using Flipgrid. You can see any topics that you've added. So if you've added topics to the Disco library, this way you can see the ones that you've added, or maybe you want to share that with colleagues, you can do that as well. Things that are a little bit different, they have kind of like their highlight reel at the top. So anything that a lot of people have been using or things that they want to promote will be at the top for your topics. They have topic of the day, which is something new. They also have Wonder of the Day, which is something new from the Wonderopolis website. Then they'll show you all of the partners that they have. So Flipgrid is partners with a lot of major projects or companies. So the Met, Minecraft, they're partners with Coding, Wonderopolis. You could see Epic is on here, Nearpod. So any of those accounts that maybe you may have as well, you can use it and collaborate it together and kind of do like an app smashing with Flipgrid, which is really awesome. They also have trending topics, so you can take a look at any topics that may be trending at that time. Just for Me, which is also something new. They kind of look at the things that maybe you have been working on with your students, and then they give you videos based off of that. August collections, and then they show any inspiring creators, so a lot of people that have been really contributing to the Disco Library a lot, so you can see them at the bottom. Then it just keeps going. Here you can actually put on different filters, so if you want to look for a specific audience, maybe it's elementary school, you can click on that. Maybe you want to look for a certain subject. There's so many endless possibilities. You can look at newest, oldest. It really depends on exactly what you're looking for within the Disco Library. So in the activity tab, this is really more for like you to see where your activity has been with your students overall. On the first sub-tab, it gives you an overview. So it'll show you your achievements, any groups that you've created, topics you've created, your total responses, videos that you've created this week, your total views, and then if you scroll down, it shows you your achievements. It also will show you your recent activity, which is also new in the update. This is something that you didn't have, so it shows you all the recent activity from your topics. So it'll show your students what exactly they posted in, so what topic they're in and how many views. Then it gives you different options to work with that as well. So you can either keep it active, you can hide it, you can share it out. If you want to hide the response, edit it, add it to mixtapes, you can add from here. Download the video, download the selfie, you can download the captions, edit captions, you can delete your response. There are just so many different actions that you can use within your responses. Your achievements tab will just show exactly what you have done for yourself with using Flipgrid, you know, within the Flipgrid community. Maybe if you really love Flipgrid and you feel that you want to start getting certified, there are different ways that you can get certified within Flipgrid. You can build communities within other members in the Flipgrid community. Group creations, your total videos that have been posted, engagement that has been created, and your discovery with your topics in the Disco Library. And again, you have that recent activity tab again here. So they really want to show exactly what you want to do. You can toggle this on to show moderated videos if you had moderated videos in your Flipgrid group. Mixtapes. So mixtapes I spoke about a little bit earlier. Mixtapes are really fun to create. So when you create a mixtape, you can just click the Create Mixtape button. You title it, it'll give you a join code for the mixtape that you can use for other students to see the mixtape. You can go ahead and describe the purpose of the mixtape, kind of what you want to, you know, reflect upon using the mixtape, what student videos you're showcasing, and then just you would hit Create Mixtape. If you want to keep it private, you can toggle this on for a password protection. Enter your password. This way, if you want to just keep it only for those eyes that you're posting it to, give them the password and then they can only see it, which is really great. You can hit cancel. Let me see. If we click on an example, once you have created a mixtape, this is just an example of the title, then all of your videos will be listed like so. When you're ready, you can go ahead and share it out. You can copy the code or you can share it to your Google Classroom. Let's see if it will pop up for me. So when you go ahead and you put your code in, this is what the mixtape will look like. So you can actually hit the play button at the top and it will start.
Hi guys, my name is Suharshan. Hi, Miss SEPA. I'll tell you what my invention convention name is, and what it does, and I'll make it people want to buy it.
Okay, so that's just an example of one of the videos. You can either go through and it will continue through the mixtape. But what I love about the mixtape is when you play the video, it'll just continuously move on to the next video. And then as you go through, you can see all of the students, their pictures with the mixtape, which I think is really awesome. And at the bottom, it kind of gives almost like a movie feel. It'll say who it's starring, who directed it, and then it was made by with love from your friends at Flipgrid. So I think it's really a great feature to use to showcase your student work. Shorts. So this is where I want to get into the camera with you guys. So shorts are just short videos that you can record if you want to send a message quickly to parents. You can capture your screen. You can easily share your ideas with anyone at any time. My shorts, I use them a lot in the spring to use communication with parents. So if you are looking for a few things with the any type of questions with your shorts, or maybe you want to do a general video message, I use it a lot by speaking with my parents through Remind. So I'm going to take a look at one of the videos to the camera so you can take a look at what it actually is. So when you open the camera, this is what is going to happen. So it'll tell you that there are 4 steps. You have 10 minutes to record your video. You can click anywhere to dismiss. This 10-minute is only for the shorts. It's going to only be the 10-minute time limit. When you're students or you're creating your topics, it's going to give you that range of time that you can choose anywhere between, I believe, 15 seconds to 10 minutes. So now that I'm seeing myself on this video and it looks like one of those movies with the lagging subtitles, let's take a look at some of the features. So when you click on options, you can actually upload your own video clip if you'd like. You just click upload video. You can mirror your video. So if you want to click mirror, it'll just change the option that you're using. You can choose to have audio or not audio when you are recording. So it's up to you how you want that to be. Record screen is exactly what I wanted to show everybody right now. So if you've been using Screencastify, you can also use the screen recording right within Flipgrid, which is really awesome. So you can just click record screen, then you're going to click on start screen recording. Okay, you can see that my picture popped up in the bottom right hand corner, hopefully. And then if you click on the share your screen options, it'll say you can either record your entire screen, the application window, or your Chrome tab. And you can choose which tab that you would like to work with. So it's really up to your preference. I'm going to choose entire screen for right now just so that you can see. You'll select that. You'll click share and your countdown will begin. So you can see that it's capturing my screen right now. I can either stop sharing, I can hide, I can go to different tabs if I wanted to so that they can see exactly what I'm talking about. Now I'm going to stop the recording so that you can see what it looked like. So you'll review. So here it'll show you exactly what you're doing. You can go ahead and go to another screen if you wanted to, and then you can see that you can screen record and have your video in the bottom explaining anything that you need. This is a brand new feature that I'm super excited about, because if you could do it all within the platform, you know, it will really essentially just save you an extra step. So back to looking at some of the other features. So that's all of your options on the left side. Now we're going to talk about effects. So when you're recording your video, you can use these effects here that are down at the bottom. Filters are just some fun features that maybe if you have a student that's a little bit shy and doesn't want to show their face when they're speaking. They gave some great options that you can kind of use this pixelated view, so that they just record their voices, but you still know who it is because they have to put their name down, but they can change the feature. So maybe, you know, just kind of warms them up a little bit with the feature of the filters. You can also use frames, which is brand new. If you want to put a little frame to, you know, make it a little bit more fun for them. It's really up to your preference on letting them use all of these features. I usually do because my students love using Flipgrid because of all of the fun features that are there for you. So they're still having fun, they're still being creative, but they're still also using this in a good content-based and meaningful way. Emojis, so you can add any stickers that you would like. You can search the stickers. It'll show emojis, it'll show people, it'll show accessories. I mean, the possibilities are endless for them to really use their creativity when they're using these stickers to add them into your responses. The next thing I want to talk about on the camera, if my effects tab would open back up. I'm not sure why that's doing that, but that's, oh, here we go. You can add text. They have come up with new fonts, which I'm a font junkie, so I really am very appreciative of this. But you can just click on that, and then once you click inside, you can start typing. Just click out, and then you can move your font or your wording text anywhere. You can expand it, make it bigger, make it smaller. You can mirror it, you can turn it around, and you can also delete it if you didn't want to use the text. Drawing feature, if you want to draw something, you can draw on there. You don't really need it. You can hit the backspace button to get rid of it if you want. But sometimes if you're doing something, especially with math, I found that the drawing feature was very helpful, especially when we were going through fractions in the spring. So that's just something that I wanted to share with you as well. The board feature, this is exactly what I wanted to talk to you about, and they also have a split screen option, which I think is really amazing. So the different boards that you can use, they have a dot grid, which I think is great for math. You have your graphing paper also for math. You have regular lined paper. They have a fun galaxy background. There's a whiteboard option. There's a blackboard option. There's a green board option. They have a fun rainbow background. They have a also another fun background. So for example, with the loose leaf paper, if you want to write on one side, but you wanted to show your video on the other, you actually can click that split screen feature, and you can have half of your video a paper, and then the other half is your video. I think this is a huge game changer, especially if you're trying to explain something and maybe you want to type something out. So now you can maybe go back to your text, or maybe add a, any type of text that you want. Welcome to our math lesson, whatever you'd like to do. And then you just click out, and then you can adjust your text. Of course, mine's going to flip over because I just needed to do that. But you get the idea. You can put your text right onto the lined paper. You can have your split screen. You can draw on here, which I just think the possibilities are just endless. The last thing I wanted to show about the camera is that you can add your own custom sticker. So if you are a Bitmoji freak like I am, I have saved all of my Bitmojis on my computer. So you can go ahead and click to open your folder. So maybe you want to add your Bitmoji, and you're going to open it. Once you open, you can add an image right into your response, and then that will be a part of your video. So I'm going to just go ahead and record something really quick so you can see what's going to happen. So this is my quick video. Hi. You're going to go ahead and press the pause button, go to next really quick so you can see what's going to happen. So this is my quick video. So then you'll see that it'll play back any video you want. If you want to trim, you're going to go ahead and use that feature here. So you can see what's going to happen. You can drag the handles to trim your video if you'd like to. Once you're done trimming, you hit confirm or you can hit delete clip. It's up to you. Once you have done that, it's going to show you again what your new video clip is. Once you're happy with it, you can hit next, or maybe you want to add more. You can click add more. Once we hit next, it's going to ask you to take a selfie, right? Take your selfie. You can add different effects in here. What a terrible picture. And then hit next. Once you're done hitting next, it will upload your video, and then your video will be here. Okay, if you're not happy with this video, like I am not, you do have the option to delete it right there. I'll just keep it there for now. But that's just a quick glimpse of how you can use your video, how to record your video, and how to use shorts. Shorts, I really think, is very beneficial, especially when you're trying to explain something and you want to explain it rather quickly. I just have a couple more features to go over with you. Then I'm going to check the chat, and we're going to talk about how we can use this with remote learning. Grid Pals. Grid Pals is the last thing at the top, your last tab at the top. You can connect with other Flipgrid educators in classrooms around the world with your Grid Pals profile. So you can either keep it active so that educators can connect with you, or you can keep it hidden so that educators cannot view your profile. It's really up to you. But it's kind of like having a pen pal through Flipgrid. You can search for different grade levels. You can search for different subjects if there is a teacher that maybe you want to connect with through Flipgrid. And it'll show you all of the Flipgrid Grid Pals down at the bottom. And you can reach out to them through Flipgrid to maybe connect on a, or collaborate on a different topic or discussion. Something I want to show you within groups is a new way to view your student activity, which they did not have before this new update. So when you're here and you're inside of your group after you've created your group, it'll give you your group name at the top. It'll show you how many responses you have, your views, the comments, how many hours of shared learning, your co-pilots, which are essentially your co-teachers. Then you can click on this Students tab, which is a brand new sub-tab that they did not have in the spring. This Students tab will show you all of your students' names listed, their email addresses, so whatever they signed up with, the last video that was recorded, the last time they were on Flipgrid, plus all of the videos that they have recorded for you. So if you go ahead and you click on that 111 videos, it will show you every single video that your student has done within that time frame. So I think that's a really an awesome feature to see exactly what's happening with your topics, and see exactly what's happening with your students. This one section here that shows when it was last accessed, that's a huge game changer, because I know in the spring it was a little bit time consuming to check out every single topic that you've created, every single video that was created, just to find out who really was completing the assignment or not completing the assignment. This way you can just look at the last access date and then click directly on the video for that student, and then you'll be able to access it that way as well, which I think is a really, really great way for that. So I'm going to go back to the slide deck now. What I'm going to do now is take a look at the chat and see if there's anything in here that maybe I did not get to or maybe not mention. But just want to share with you real quick some remote learning ideas. These are just some of the ways that I used Flipgrid with remote learning. So here's some ideas that you can use as well. Shorts for morning meetings. I know on Mondays, a lot of people like to do morning meetings with their class. So on Monday mornings, I used shorts as like a quick way to kind of set the tone for the week, explain the expectations, explain what we're going to be using it for, so that you can use those shorts for that. Mixtapes for best practices. I really love using the mixtape feature because I feel that the mixtapes are the best way to showcase your students. And especially if you're doing like a special project or something, have them record their responses, have them show whatever their project is within that response. And then that's the example I used today with our 3rd grade invention convention. That's what we did there. They showed their invention convention projects. We put all of them together in a mixtape, and then we let each 3rd grade class watch each mixtape so that it all got to see everybody's project this year, which they unfortunately got to miss out on due to, you know, the COVID and everything that we're dealing with. Flipgrid camera for screen recording, really a game changer, honestly, especially with the split screen option. I think that that's a huge game changer when you're recording videos to send out to your students. Community building activities, you know, the ways of group work are going to be very different from this point forward until, you know, we're back to normal. So using this platform can really give you a community building activity for your students and a really great chance for them to build relationships with one another, especially if you have a fully virtual class this year. Virtual exit slips, book talks, math problem explanations. I don't know how you guys did math last year, but I know that Flipgrid was a huge part of my math lessons. And I would pick either 1 or 2 math problems that I wanted them to explain to me and show me how they got their answer. And then that was a grade that I took for their math. Digital breakouts, and many more. And what I also wanted to share with you is that Flipgrid comes up with their own set of expectations or ideas or suggestions for you to use remote learning with Flipgrid. It'll also show you how you Flipgrid with what grade levels. So, you know, Flipgrid is being used as low as pre-K and as high as in a regular communities with staff and universities. So it's really for everyone. It's really wonderful. Just empower every voice. And, you know, thank you for joining my session. We're not over yet. We're going to talk a little bit now about remote learning. I'm going to talk a little bit. I'm going to see what's in the chat so I can go ahead and see what's going on with that. But feel free to unmute yourself at this point if you have any questions or something I didn't get to in the chat. I'm going to repost the attendance doc again for anybody who didn't sign in for the attendance. So that's the first thing I'll do. So this is the attendance doc. And then the next thing I want to repost is the Google Classroom code. So if you didn't join the Google Classroom, there's your Google Classroom code. The last thing I'm going to post in the chat before we discuss remote learning is if you don't mind filling out this short survey for me today, it would be greatly appreciated. So those of you who may be joining me in my Brain Pop session next, this survey is for both. So if you do attend both sessions, please fill it out twice. If you're only coming for Flipgrid, that's fine too. I'm going to post this survey in the chat as well. But again, feel free to please unmute yourself if you have any questions. I'm going to take a look at the chat now and see if there's anything that I have missed. All right, so let me go ahead and go back here. Good morning. So I did the attendance doc. Will it compose by itself? I'm assuming you're talking about mixtapes, composing it by itself. That is something that you need to create yourself. So if you're in the mixtape section and you want to create it, the easiest way that I usually do mixtapes would actually go back to where your topic is. After you've created your mixtape with the title, you would go back to your topic. Sorry, I don't know why my internet is like lagging a little bit. Once you're on your topic, you can go to your responses, hit actions, and add to mixtape. So when you click add to mixtape, it will ask you what mixtape you want to add it to. You can add it to one that you pre-made, or you can click create a mixtape with your new title, and this would be the easiest way for you to add or create your mixtapes. But no, unfortunately, the mixtapes are something you have to create. They're not created on their own. Let's see. Can students type a response with new features? Yes, they can. All of the new features are for students and for teachers. So really awesome. I'm super excited about all of the new features. Can we see a sample math response from a student? I'm not sure if I have any math responses from a student per se that I could find right this second. What I can do is I can actually post it in the Google Classroom at a later time so I can get a good, well-rounded response for you for the math example. And I'll make that note now. So I'll post it right in the Google Classroom so that this way you can see it. And I will download that video so you can also see how a downloaded video looked like, okay? So post a math example. All right, so yeah, so I'll post that math example in the Google Classroom. And thank you so much for joining my session. You know, I had a really great time with you guys today. Please, please, please don't forget to sign in on the Google Doc so that you get credit for your hours for today. If you could please complete the feedback survey, that would be wonderful. Don't forget to join the Google Classroom for resources and the Tech Tuesday website for all of your information, okay? And this slide deck is on the Tech Tuesday website, so you can make a copy of this and keep it for yourself as well, so that you have all of this information, okay? Thanks, guys. Thanks so much for coming, and I hope everyone had a wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of your sessions.